Yeah. As I was walking through before the show, I noticed this old beauty, and I had to go take a nice look at it. Got talking to you. You said this is like the third or fourth one you've had?
It's the fifth 56 Ford that I've owned. I've had 4 of the 56 Fords over the last 35 years. But the one that I wanted more than them all was a 56 Crown Vic. And I had only seen pictures of a 56 Crown. And so I decided in 1996 to find a 56 Crown. And it wasn't easy. And but I was able to find this particular one in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Bought it from a doctor, sat in a horse barn for 25 years. It was purchased to restore, and he was so busy with other issues that he never got around to it. And I waited until the winter of '97, when it was freezing rain and snow and everything under the sun taking place. And I called the guy. I told my wife, I said, that's how you buy a car. I called him, and we worked out a price, and it worked. And we drove over there and spent the night, and I hired a transport company to bring it home, and that's when the work began. And I would say probably after about 2 years working on it, I was able to get it so I could drive it, but it still needed a lot of work. So it was probably another 10 years before it was presentable, in my view. My previous cars, I knew the problems that I was facing, and so I was able to prepare for the problems, and I knew the essential issues that was going to occur with the mechanical end of it, so I was aware of that, so I had parts for that. So I went several different routes from the previous cars that I own, and even though it took a while, everything came together very well.
Well, the work itself, the quality of the work, I can see you took your time, and I see you knew what you were doing. And this is just a beauty. I mean, this is one that people want to see at car shows, simply because it reminds us how, I mean, new cars are better, supposedly. But if I'm going to go looking at something, I'll be wanting to look at something from the 50s or early 60s.
Yes. I've learned over the years, since I started showing this car, that it's actually a history lesson.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people just are not aware that this, in 1956, this was the Motor Trend's Car of the Year.
What I want to know is what the heck you've been doing for a year and a half. You know, we've all been kind of hiding out.
Well, he's been working on the cars, and I've just been, doing what we could for the Historical Society, but that hasn't been much. We had to close the museum.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah, that's still closed in the community center.
Okay,
Yep.
And then will that open up in a couple of months?
We hope as soon as they'll let us, we'll open it up.
Okay. So now how you coming on the other car?
The other car is fine. It's up and running. I was debating which one to bring today, but I am getting a little bit of suspension work done on that over at the Hot Rod Shop. It's a good place. They do good work there. But, if you want it done right, it's got to be at the right place to do it. But we've been doing a lot of work out in the yards and that, too, just something to keep busy. With all the shutdowns and that, you kind of stuck close to home. But I've been working in the backyard, tinkering around with the cars, fixing up the lawn, had a driveway put down, busy work, but at least it kept you, at some level of sanity through all this.
Now, here's what I didn't do when we started this. I know you. Of course, I've known you for a very long time. But could you introduce yourselves real quickly?
Go ahead.
My name is Oscar Zamora. I sit on the Warren DDA board.
I'm Madeline Zamora. I'm with the Historical Commission in Warren.
And I'm just amazed at what you two do all the time. You're just always on the go. It's just really amazing. So I just can't fathom, and you're a lot like we are, what you did for that whole year. We couldn't get out and talk to anybody, It
was a trying time for everybody, across the the entire globe, and right down to the microcosms of each city. It was everybody has individual circumstances, and you just do what you could to keep some level of sanity, like I said before, just to keep something going, to keep some sense of normalcy.
I read about 50 books and did about 20 jigsaw puzzles, and
and just a minute ago we were just talking about people we have lost because of this virus.
We have.
So many.
Yep.
Now, the other thing is that we're out here, and I know you just barely have the car in, so maybe we can pan over here and kind of show off this convertible if we could, Art. No problem. You'd be so kind? Okay, and this is actually, I've got to agree with you, this is the type of vehicle that you want to have out on a day like this. Okay, and you notice that my car is a convertible, but I have added a little sun protection over there. Yeah,
Oh, better safe than sorry.
Right.
You know.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, what year was this? We were talking 61?
61 Nash Metropolitan convertible. I got about a year ago, but the reason I got it is back in 1975 I was in the Marine Corps, North Carolina, and I bought a 61 Nash Metropolitan convertible just like this. So I had it down when I was in North Carolina. I brought it back to Michigan, had it for a few years, and I sold it because I needed money to get married with. And ever since then, I've always wanted another one, so I picked this one up last year.
Well, there. It's funny because these were called the bathtub Nash, as opposed to the Porsche upside down bathtub. These were the bathtub, but they were just a cool little car, even when they were new. They were that quirky but yet kind of iconic thing, you know.
Yeah, I know it's a lot of fun to drive, and gets a lot of attention, and I love it.
Do you have much trouble finding parts, or don't you have a problem with that?
Not really. There's a couple places that you can get parts for it, and haven't really had any issues with that yet.
You're pretty lucky then from some of the other guys I know with classic cars.
Yeah.
So do you get it out a lot? I live in the area. I haven't seen it around. That's why I asked.
Yeah, I try to drive it as much as I can. If the weather's nice, I'll take it out and drive it. I mean, that's why I buy them. I don't buy them to look at them. I buy it to drive it, and I want to drive it as much as I can.
Well, no, you don't want it to be a trailer queen.
Right, exactly. It's not. I mean, it needs work. It's not that. I mean, it needs some body work. It's probably going to need new paint again soon, but again, I buy it to drive it, and so I don't worry about if it gets a little ding or it gets chipped or whatever. It's like,
But see, now that's the attitude I got. I like that. You know, that's what they're made for, to be out on the road.
right.
And I'm sure you don't have any trouble finding a parking place.
No. It's easy to get into, too. Nice and small.
Just a minute ago, I walked up this young man with this beautiful blue Mustang, and I said to him, I said, "Your parking lights are on." He panicked. Okay, he and I both had the same thought that we'd be giving him a jump off the cart, you know.
Got that right.
Come to find out, it was just the sun, and I've had too much hard water. What is your name, sir?
My name's Don Andrews,
And Don, where are you from?
Detroit, Michigan.
Okay, well, you have a very, very beautiful car.
Thank you.
Don's been out here hand polishing this thing for about an hour and a half. And I'm surprised he doesn't have the rubber shoulders, but he's doing a great
It's
job.
getting there.
Thank you, Don, so much. Very nice vehicle.
Appreciate it.
Talked to this young man about this beautiful motorcycle 2 years ago at another meet. Just wanted to stop by because it's still running well, because this time he could carry 2 people on it.
Yeah, not for long. Not for very long.
I got a motorcycle I've had for 4 years. My wife's never been on it.
Okay, yeah. I never rode anybody on it before today, but I only live 4 houses away. So
Oh,
it's like-
wow. Makes a big difference.
Yeah, it's not like I came from the UP, you know.
It actually looks just a little bit cleaner than the last time I saw it.
I dusted it off, yeah, and I wipe it down with WD-40 once a year, the whole thing.
Yeah, I did that to my kid for a long time until he left home.
Yeah.
You, didn't you have a different set of bags before?
Didn't have bags on it before.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. So, those are vintage too. Those are from my buddy made those in the 80s, early.
Okay, my name is Lynn Anderson, Lynnanderson. I'm from Clinton Township.
And all that time you were a country singer, I thought you were blind.
I don't promise rose gardens.
Sorry, I'm definitely showing my age, aren't I?
And I say that to everybody, and nobody under the age of 35 knows who I'm talking about. So I give
I don't
up.
even know anybody under the age of 35. Even some of my grandkids are. And anyway, so
Yeah.
number one, what promise? It's beautifully done. I mean,
Thank
you're paying
you.
homage to the movie.
Yes.
To Dean.
Dean Jones and Michelle Lee in the back
Yeah.
window. Yeah. I found
But
him
does yours-
in a barn in
Does
Dundee.
yours fly?
Herbie never flew.
Well, he'd get up on rear
He
wheel.
bounced, but he never flew.
I stand corrected, I guess.
Anyway, I found him in a barn in Dundee, Michigan, 10 years ago. The guy did it for his wife, Herbie, decals and all. She hated it, and he parked it for 5 years. I don't know how anybody can hate Herbie. So anyway, that was a barn find. We brought him home, and I've had him ever since.
But I hear a few stories like that, but just to meet somebody that was basically that lucky.
He opened that barn door, and this poor thing was sitting in there covered in dust with pussycat prints all over the roof. Cats must have been living in them. And then the weirdest coincidence is when I did his birth certificate from Wolfsburg.
Yeah.
They say he was imported into the port of New Orleans March 1st, 1965. I was living in New Orleans in March of 65.
So you probably saw
So
this car.
he's just been waiting for me all this time, looking for me.
Stalking you.
Yes, stalking me. My husband says we're having an affair. I says, you're right, but at least you know about it. He likes it when I change his oil.
Now, your husband likes it, or the car likes it?
The car likes it.
Oh, okay. Do you actually have an oil filter in this one?
Oh, sure.
I had a few. I had a few of the old ones.
And
over
good
the
2.5 quarts of oil.
A whole 2.5 quarts.
Whole
yeah.
2.5 quarts.
You don't want to overfill.
No, I'm 58 horsepower. I'm the anti-muscle car at the cruise.
Oh, so you parked next to the only person you beat in horsepower.
Probably. That or an Azetta, which I think they get, 28 miles to the gallon? 28
Azetta was
horsepower.
the BMW.
The Azettas are slower than Herbie.
Yeah, well, actually, I had a neighbor that had one that was it was actually a super full race one.
Yeah.
A big V8 in it.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those on Woodward. Yeah, people.
Yeah, one of them was probably Kurt. So.
It probably was. Orange? Wild paint job?
Yeah,
that's
flowers
him.
and everything.
Yeah,
That was
that's
Kurt.
him.
I'm
I've
surprised
seen
he usually doesn't come past. This is Van Dyke, by the way.
Right, yes.
And he usually doesn't go past there, coming
No,
from the east side.
he stays west side. No?
Oh, it's a different one then.
Yeah,
But anyway,
Anyway, but this is my baby.
you're going to be making the other shows, I hope?
Oh, yeah. And of course, this is the M53 Cruise. So this is the perfect cruise for Herbie, right?
Oh, jeez.
He was
Wow.
born to do this cruise.
I'm sorry. I'm just so impressed. It's just messing me up. Anyway, thank you very much.
I even got the 53 on my neck.
Wow. No tattoos?
No tattoos. Thank you, no.
Thanks.
I like artwork, just not, I like it on a wall, not on my body.